Welcome in to another episode of McCready and Siskey. Let me get my guy in here. There he is. How we doing, friend?
I'm tired, Tyler. I'm excited to take a nap.
I know. Hey, let's give a big shout out to Neil. I did it again. Let's give a big shout out to Neil. Let's go, world traveler. Let's go in here. Let's go. How was your trip? Before we get started, how was your trip?
Oh, trip was fine. Just it was early, very, very, very early.
All right, so I got a serious question for you. Where did we park the car?
My friend Q, my Uber driver from the other day, picked me up at 3:20 in the morning and drove me to Memphis.
You said, I'm not doing it again.
Yep, Laura's gonna pick me up on Sunday. Yep, not doing it.
Lesson learned.
Um, I'm a quick learner.
Quick learn. Look at you. Look at you. I love it. Well, everybody's glad that you're here. Everybody's glad that you made it safe. Uh, Neil is in New York City covering the Rebs as they take on St. John's on Saturday.
I
Madison
am.
Square Garden. The Garden. I mean, do you walk in there and you go
Mhm.
like the legends and everything that's taking place there?
Uh,
You feel historic.
yeah, yeah. I've been in the garden twice before. This will be my third time to be in the garden. It's a cool place. Yep. Laura was going to come with me on this trip, and then life happened, and so I'm by myself in New York, which is just as well because I'm not terribly far from taking a really long nap. I'm going to go see a play tonight, and then
Okay.
I'm going to come back and crash.
What are we going to see tonight?
I'm going to see Book of Mormon tonight.
Okay, let's go. Look at you. World, like just very artsy world general, just doing a little bit of everything. I'm kind of proud
Yep,
of you. I mean,
that's
just
me.
you just have you a nice little dinner in New York and enjoy life. All right, Neil, you know what time it is? Are you ready? You ready to roll? I don't have an
Yeah,
audio file, so I'll get Chase to I'll send Chase a text to the audio file, but you
we're
ready
gonna
to
pick
start
some
it up?
games. Sure.
All right, here we go. Welcome to episode 330 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. Ooh, how about that? I am Tyler. I almost said I am Neil. That is Tyler. I am Tyler. That is Neil. Welcome. This episode is brought to you by our good friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of caffeine, natural caffeine, and BCAAs, electrolytes. And it's got, you know what? Zero sugar to get what you need to get done. So check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. Neil, I'm rocking with the sour gummy worm today, a Thursday favorite. I'm thirsty, so let me get that out of the way and get going. I'm gonna need all the juice I can get. We'll talk about it in a minute. But Neil, you went 5-1 in college last week. That sets you up to have a really good week. You did not. You could have opened the door on me pretty good, but you struggled in the NFL. But you still took a lead. So I gotta,
Okay.
I gotta, I gotta get some juice going here because I can't lose this thing. I can't lose this thing. So, you actually, because you hit your money line, you had a good week. You beat me overall. So we'll go over all that in just a second.
I hit my
Neil,
money on.
you hit your money line. You had Vandy.
Oh, I did. Yeah, that's
You
right.
had it. You actually hit it kind of comfortably. But Neil, as you know, the Kia of Meridian chat, it's already bumping and it's going to continue to bump all show long. And also this holiday season, it's here. And we're putting our dreams into driveways to end the brand spanking old 2025. They have Tellurides at 2025 Tellurides with 0.9% for 60 months. And then to bring in the new 2027 Tellurides to ring in the new year. That's right. 0.9% on all remaining Tellurides. They also have an extra $750 rebate on remaining 2025 Sorrentos, Tellurides, and K5s for the end of the year sticker sales event. So come see them at Kia of Meridian, where you can put a brand new sleigh just in time for Christmas. And guess what, Neil?
What's that?
When you go see our good friend Trav and all the great folks down at Kia of Meridian, and you decide I'm gonna get me a new sleigh and put it in the driveway. I'm gonna get rid of that Bentley. I'm gonna get rid of that Escalade. And I'm going. You know what I'm gonna do, Neil? I'm
What's
gonna
that?
make room where I can put a dog in it. Probably like a lab.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
want something that has enough room for a lab in case I got to go somewhere. You know,
yeah.
last second I got to go somewhere. I want to make
Well,
sure I
you
got
never know
room.
when you're gonna need some positive PR.
You never know, but so you may need some room
He's
for the
such a
lab.
bad person, such a bad human being.
And when you do that, Neil, guess what?
When you're willing to do a bad thing to a Labrador Retriever because of your image as a human being, like I'm totally serious here. I've had 4 labs. They're the nicest creatures on the earth. They're the nicest. I'm totally serious for a minute.
I know I can't
I
do this
really
again.
don't care.
I've hurt for 3 days. I'm just now feeling better.
I don't care who I don't care who I offend. I've had 4 Labrador Retrievers. Um, we had our first set. Wrigley was our first dog. We got him a couple months after we got married, and he was just a big, sweet, yellow goofball. That's really what he was. But he was a sweet, kind, just remarkably sweet dog. He didn't have any talents, but he was just a sweetheart. And then we got Miller a year later because Laura was a sucker for an ad in the Birmingham Post Herald. And Miller was a black lab, and he was the most talented frisbee catching dog in the history of frisbee catching dogs. And what Miller loved more than anything else in the world was we would drive down to we lived in Midtown Mobile, and we would drive over to Murphy High School. And I had a it was like a Subaru Outback sort of thing. I bought it from my father-in-law,
It wasn't a
and
Kia Meridian. It wasn't from
it
Kia
was
Meridian.
it wasn't Kia Meridian. I know I interrupted your ad. You can get back to your ad in a second, but this needs to be said. Um, I would take him to Murphy High School, and I would take a frisbee and a big bowl of water, and um, like I'd fill up like 2 liter bottles of Coca Cola kind of thing with water, and I'd pour it in a bowl, and I would throw the frisbee. I got to where I could throw a frisbee pretty damned accurately, 55, 60 yards. Um, and
But should have
Miller would.
become a professional frisbee golfer.
I mean, by the end, I was really good at it, and he would race down the field, and he would leap into the air, and he would catch the frisbee in the middle of the air, and he would bring it back. And if we did it in August, early August, late July, early August, when it was hotter than hell in Mobile, the Murphy High School band would be practicing for their season, right? And all those kids would watch. And the more kids who came and watched Miller, the more he got into it. Like he loved practice, but he loved games more than practice. And he would turn it on, and I would have to take the frisbee from him when I was really worried that he was going to have a complete heart attack. And literally, the sweetest dog in the world in those moments was like, I'm not letting this go, bitch. We're going to keep playing. We're going to keep playing. And I'd be like, no, dude, you've had enough. And I would finally load him in the back of the Subaru, and he panted so hard that the Subaru shook. And I'd get him back to our place in Midtown Mobile, and he'd get out and he'd get in this baby pool that we filled up with water, and he would cool down for the better part of an hour. And he loved it. He was an awesome dog. And now we have Gus and Rizzo. Gus is 10, Rizzo's 8. You've met Gus and Rizzo many
I
times.
have every day except for
And
today. Missed them today.
and they're just good dudes. They're just good dudes. I mean, they're just sweet, loving, caring. My point on this is Lane Juice doesn't know that he's a star. He has no idea that all this shit's going on. And You couldn't take care of him. He literally cut himself with a knife because you're so negligent. And he apparently is a very talented duck hunting dog. And the owner, and I can't think of his name right now, at Wild Rose, truly loves the dog and has let the dog stay in his house. And the dog is basically living Disney World every day. And that you would let your social media and your fragile ego for a minute. I don't care about LSU and Ole Miss for a minute. I really don't. I don't care. Whatever. I actually do care about Labs. That you would let your fragile, pathetic ego pick up that Labrador from a happy home where he gets to do things that he enjoys on his 12 to 14 years on this earth, to take him down to Baton Rouge so that you can be a negligent owner but take some pictures for social media is maybe the worst thing you've ever done. And Lane, think about that sentence for a minute. Think about that sentence for a minute. Of all the things you've done that have never been reported because you're an elite offensive play caller and people let you get away with everything shy of murder, that you would contemplate taking this Labrador retriever who has no idea who you are or who anybody else is. He's just living his best life. And I'm totally serious for a minute. That you would take that dog and you would ruin his life so that you can put out some tweets on X. Man, that's like the worst thing you could ever do. And that is so seriously saying something. I'm finished, but that's it. Do the right thing for once. Forget the LSU Ole Miss thing. You're going to make a ton of money and people are going to cheer and hate and whatever. And it's a football game. That Labrador retriever doesn't know that you're a football coach. Do the right thing for the damn dog. That's it.
You good?
Yeah, and I genuinely believe this.
I,
I'm not.
I'm
This
with
is
you.
not an act.
I know.
This
I'm
is
with you.
not an act.
I was
I
literally.
mean, I'm very, very biased towards Labrador retrievers. They're special creatures. They really are. I mean, labs are proof that God loves us. Seriously, I'm totally serious when I say this. They have a unique quality. Their ability to, like in our house, there's five of us. When there were five of us, and to establish five different interpersonal relationships with five different people is a there's a skill there. And I know they can't speak and they don't understand everything and whatever, but um, you should do the right thing by that dog. You really should, Lane. I hope you do. Forget the football. I don't care if you win 100 straight games, lose 100 straight games. You're getting paid an obscene amount of money because of your ability to do offense, defense. Good for you. Congratulations. Don't punish that dog.
Well, in the event that our guy Wild Rose needs somewhere to put Juice, if he gets to keep him, go see our good friends at Kia of Meridian. And when you do, Neil, do you know what else you get to do?
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian. Trav's like, that is the longest Kia of Meridian ad read of all time right there. Good job. Let's go, Kia. Let's go, Kia Meridian. Let's go. We're also brought to you by the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey. Who is that, you may ask? County Line Campers. All right, buckle up. County Line Campers has officially thrown off logic out the window for this whole holiday season. Rob woke up and said, you know what? How about this? How about S? You need to get you a brand new, any of them, towable travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever you drag behind your truck. And guess what? Guess what Rob's gonna do? He's gonna give you $1,000 cash. You want to buy a new motorhome? You know what you can do if you buy a new motorhome? He's gonna give you $2,000 cash. That's right, for Christmas, for real. Not in some coupons, actual. Put it in your pocket, spend it how you want to, so your in-laws won't approve it. Cash. And that's right, because Rob's in full holiday meltdown and they've slashed prices on all new and pre-loved RVs up to 50% off. That's right, up to 50% off. That's not a sale. That's a hostage negotiation. Kind of like we just talked about.
I mean,
Don't do it. No. Let me get through this one. Let me get through this one.
the dog deserves better. He really does.
This insanity runs all the time. Go see them at County Line Campers right there in Gulfport, Mississippi, right off I-10, exit 38. Go to countylinecampers.com and grab your Christmas cash so you can go pretend that you planned this all year long. Check them out at countylinecampers.com. Before we get to picks, I did talk about, I was like, of all the stuff that's been coming out, everything that's been coming out, everybody's like, yeah. But by God, you start talking about the dog now. We're drawing the freaking line with the dog. We're
As we
drawing the
should.
line with the dog.
As we should, because the dog can't speak for himself.
That's right. Hey, free juice. Shout
Well,
out.
it's just do the right thing by the dog. Just let him admit that you're a shitty dog owner, and the other guy's a great dog owner, and he's a happy creature, and let him be happy. They live short lives, and Labrador Retrievers are meant to be pampered, not
All right.
abused.
Shout out super chats before we get to the picks. Austin, thank you for the super chat. Says Neil, who's worse, Lane or Hugh? You're giving me flashbacks with how you're calling out Lane.
They're just different.
Okay. Just different. I'll remain quiet on that one.
It's just different here.
I'm letting Neil answer that one. I'm not partaking in that one. T Walker, thank you for the super chat. Says, what is the role of the GM? Is it possible in the future we see fired head coaches become GMs instead of on the field coach like Freeze or Napier? Not saying they couldn't do it. A GM is basically, we've changed all the names. This is what I did for all those years. We just didn't call them GMs back then. They became GMs because of people like the titles. I never cared what my title was, long as the commas and the zeros were in the right place for my check. But basically, you're in charge of recruiting, in charge of the financials, and then some places do it differently. They have different setups, but a lot of these GMs that are getting hired are basically taking because head coaches, until they change, I know there are very few out there, but the head coach is always going to have a say on who they're signing or whatever. But it's basically the final funnel, I guess, before it gets to the head coach, and he's going to take your opinion on when it comes to personnel decisions. And then Tim, thanks for the super chat. He said, "Free juice." Hashtag free juice. All right.
We should absolutely free juice.
Oh yeah, it's.
And if that means that he never makes a public appearance again, if that's the compromise, so that Lane doesn't have the dog thrown in his face, fair enough. Because again, and I mean this sincerely, I actually feel strongly about this.
I can tell.
The dog doesn't know that he's a star. So why don't we do the right thing by the actual dog? Why don't we let the dog have a happy life? Why don't we let the dog live someplace where he's cared for, with people who care for him and who love him, and where he gets to go do the things that he's really good at? Apparently he's an elite like duck retriever.
Okay.
He has like a real talent at it, and he thoroughly enjoys it. And if you ever have been around labs, you can tell when they're happy. They have a face that's happy. Their eyes get very engaged when they're happy. If that dog is happy, then let him go be happy.
Agreed.
Don't bring him to the football stadium anymore. That's fine. If that's the compromise, so be it. The people can lose that if that means that the dog gets to be happy. It won't happen. Lane's going to bring it to Baton Rouge and make a scene and all that stuff because he's an absolute sociopath. That's coming. It's a shame. I don't even the part about the people and the coaches and the recruits and all that stuff. Like whatever, they'll all figure it out. The dog doesn't get to figure it out. He's kind of limited on what he gets to do. Like a recruit gets to hit the transfer portal and tell him to F himself. A coach gets to like go get another job, or in your case, get you know, you got buyout money when you get to turn it into a business where you make a ton of money. Um, the dog doesn't have that level of autonomy. He literally is sort of limited by what the people do with him, and so that sort of sucks.
Yeah,
I'll shut up now. I just think he's a
we
bad.
need to
I just
get
think.
Cole. We need
I
to get
think.
Cole
I,
to Cole to clip
I
this, and
think
maybe
what
we can
he's
get
doing
Vito.
with the. I think what he's doing with the dog takes the cake for like badness,
It's
and
pretty bad, dude.
and like that's really saying something because I mean I've heard stories like holy shit, but
Yeah. By the way,
at least the people including like the girls and everyone they have an attempt because they're humans to defend themselves to some degree. Um, the dog doesn't. He doesn't have the ability to tweet on social media. That's not really him. That's like some psychopath in his family pretending to be a dog. The dog itself, the literal dog, the canine, he's not tweeting. He doesn't have opposable thumbs. I've seen him with my own two eyes. But he appears to be a really good Labrador retriever who like enjoys being a Labrador retriever. So let him be a Labrador retriever.
you good?
I mean, it pisses me off.
Hey, I can't tell you put any thought on this last couple of days.
I mean, it's one thing to like go into like a hot yoga class and do
Oh,
jumping jacks and shit and push people down and act like an idiot. Those people, ultimately, those people can get up and leave, right? They can get up and leave. And when you leave, they can make tweets that like he was a psychopath. The dog doesn't have that ability. He's a dog. I mean, he is. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he's literally a canine. He can't speak English. He can't. No matter like how hard you trained him, he would be unable to speak the language. So he has no ability to speak up for himself. He doesn't have the ability to go, hey, I'm Juice. I'd really love to stay with Wild Rose Kennels and go hunt. It's fun. I enjoy that. He can't do that.
you can't do this to me again today. Now, I've hurt for 3 days. My ribs have hurt for 3 days for what you and AJ did to me on Monday. I can't do this again. All right, can't do it. You gotta
I
help
just
help
I
me,
just
Vito.
don't understand how we do this to a canine. I really don't.
All right.
I mean, what it proves is you've never had a dog before. You've never like here's what it proves to me is like at night no seriously like our dogs are old now and they go to bed early and a lot of times I'm old now and my wife bless her heart she's not as old but getting older and she'll go to bed before me a lot of times and I'll stay up because I'm an idiot and I'll watch like West Coast NBA basketball, which is so stupid. And I'm laying on the couch and I look up and Rizzo the dog, who for whatever reason, bless his heart, really likes me. And I'm his person. And he'll come in there and you know where the couch where I'm talking about. You've seen the couch, the red
Yep.
couch.
Yep.
I'm laying on that couch and I'm watching NBA.
You said
And
couch, not chair in the corner, right?
not chair in the corner, couch.
Okay,
And it's
gotcha.
just me. We're not watching. I'm watching 10 people play with the basketball up and down the floor. That's all I'm watching. I'm not watching anything else. Just watching people run up and down the floor.
You're sure you're not watching you sure that it's not a chair in the corner, it's a couch.
I'm positive.
Okay.
Positive. I'll prove it to you the next time you come over to the show. And
I'm good.
Rizzo will come in and he'll put his head up on the couch sofa. And if he can, he'll put it like on my elbow or on my knee. And he'll look at me and I'll pet his head and I'll tell him he's a good boy and eventually he'll lay down and he'll snore while I finish the game and then when I turn the game off I'm like hey Rizzy let's go to bed and he'll get up and he'll go to bed and I'll go to bed and that's that. So the fact that he can do that to a dog tells me that he's never had those connections with that creature where the dog just comes over to him at night and just like, hey, what's up? We're good? And you're like, yeah, we're good. Pet his head. I love you. Scratch his head. And he looks at you with those big brown eyes, and you're like, hey, go to bed. I
Did you drink on the plane today?
nope. I did not. I tried to sleep, but I kept hitting my head on the window, and
I
so I
mean,
didn't really
I
sleep
can't
very well.
tell. I can't tell what's better. I can't tell if tired Neil is better or wine Neil tweeting is better. I don't know which one's better. This is this is up there. This is
I just, I
tired
just,
Neil, tired Neil versus wine drinking Neil sending out tweets at 9:30. That I don't know which one's better. This is
I
you're in
just
rare
don't.
form today.
I just don't know why we can't do the right thing by a Labrador Retriever. Why we have to let a Labrador Retriever get caught up in all of this psychopathic drama of a man who left his football team 2.5 weeks before a college football playoff game when 99.99% of college coaches would never have considered it. And you're trying to figure out a way to justify that behavior. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this about a Labrador Retriever. You're a sociopath.
Let's go. I'm for you. Shout out Juice. All right, let's get
I'm not
rolling.
even. I swear I'm not drunk. I'm exhausted beyond words.
Neil
Not
is not.
drunk.
I
I
can.
would love to be drunk right now, but if I were drunk, I would be on that bed right over there, asleep, sound asleep.
All right, let's get into picks. It's time for Make It Rain Thursday here with McCready and Siskey. Also brought to you by the official sports betting partner of McCready and Siskey. Who is that? That is betonline.ag. The link is in our Twitter and Instagram. You can go there. You can click the link. You can sign up. Also posted a link yesterday in the Criteria Club. Shout out Criteria Club. Hit last night. To sign up for betonline.ag. Click the link, sign up. You can get $250 of free bets or 50% bonus in Bitcoin. It is what I use. So, Neil, going into this week, like I said, you went 5-1 in college last week, but you went 1-4 in the NFL.
Ooh.
So you still got me though. I went 2-4 in college. I struggled in college, but I went 3-2 in the NFL, which is surprising. But you got me. You are 75, 71-3. You're plus 6.14 units. I am 73, 73-3, plus 5.15 units, thanks to my money lines. I've been hitting money lines this year for whatever reason. And we got 9 college games. We're going to pick 6. We're going to pick 5 against the spread, and we're going to pick 1 money line. And so we're probably going to have some overlap, obviously, because there's only 9 games. So, Neil, I will let you tee this bad boy up. Take it away, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go battle for the 12 seed. I'm gonna take the home team and the points. Give me Tulane plus the 2.5 against North Texas.
Neil, I am that's why it's gonna be a little quicker today, because we're gonna be some overlap. Tulane's playing North Texas. Interesting game from a standpoint. Both coaches, Eric Morris going to Oklahoma State, John's going to Florida. You got the winners in. I mean, this is the one thing you can guarantee: the winner of this game is in the playoffs because of where they are in the rankings. So regardless of what happens with Virginia and Duke, they're going to be in. You know your boy. I'm rolling with the green wave. Give me Tulane plus 2.5 at home against North Texas. I got to roll my guy John. Roll mother flocking wave. Let's go. Let's go wave. I hope they get this thing finished off. Would love nothing more than to see them in the playoffs here in a few weeks.
All right, my second pick. I'm gonna go to the Mountain West Conference. I'm just gonna stick with my home team thread here. I'm gonna take Boise State, lay the 5.5 against Dan Mullen and the Rebels.
I'm going to spoil it for you right here. It's actually 4.5.
Okay.
BetOnline.ag just looked at it. I am also taking Boise State minus the 4.5 at home against UNLV. Weird line here. Boise played them at home a few weeks ago and beat them pretty solidly. This line's only 4.5. I've already bet this personally. Give me Boise State minus 4.5. Thought it was very interesting with all the jobs coming open in job talk that Dan Mullen never got any play. Some serious traction with any job getting back this way. I think he's a hell of a coach. I think he's done a hell of a job at UNLV, but Boise's probably going to be a little bit too much for him, particularly defensively. Give me Boise minus 4.5 at home against UNLV.
All right, I'm going to the Saturday games now. Big 12. I got burned on this game earlier in the year. I'm not getting burned. If I get burned this time, I just get burned, but I'm not getting burned the same way twice. Give me Texas Tech. I'll lay the 12.5 against BYU. I think the Red Raiders are just a team on a mission.
Yeah, I'm not playing this game. Um, I agree with you on this. If I was to bet this game, I like Texas Tech to get after them. I do think it's one of those games that here's why I'm staying away from it. I think it's hard to beat a team like that twice. One, but I still think Texas Tech can do it. Two is it's a lot of points, but with BYU keeping their coach and them being all emotional, do they play a little bit better than they played last time, particularly defensively? But I'm staying away from it. But I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think it's one we'll talk about in just a little bit as far as the college football playoff is concerned. But I think it can be one of the pivotal turn point games of the week. All right, Neil, my third pick. I'm going to the MAC. I'm going to the MAC, or Western Michigan Broncos, the Quick U Western Michigan. It's really cool to see a lot of teams that have been on that were not good when they started using Quick U in the championship games. A lot of those guys taking over jobs. Western Michigan is one of those. I think Lance Taylor and his staff do a phenomenal job at what they're doing up there. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if he's one. I thought he made with all the opportunities, and he still made with some movement. I don't know, but Lance Taylor, hell of a coach at Western Michigan. He's got the boys in a rematch at home. They lost the first one at Miami of Ohio, but they're not going to lose this one. Give me the Broncos -2.5 at home versus Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, that was my fourth pick as well. I'm going Western Michigan minus the 2.5 in the MAC over Miami.
All right, Neil, my fourth pick. There's a game that's going to take place. It's a rematch. The Virginia Cavaliers are
Yep.
playing the Duke Blue Devils.
Yep.
Virginia's favored by 4 points, Neil. And guess what?
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Give me the
Yep.
Virginia Cavaliers -4 versus the Dukies. A couple things here. One, they've already played Duke at Duke and beat them. I think they beat them by 17 points. That's one. Two is I said this on the show on Monday. I'm not changing my opinion. If you believe in conspiracy theories, and if you've watched this show long enough, you know your boy believes in some. I see no way that somebody's not picking up the phone and going, "Hey, look, guys, if Duke crosses the 50, we need a holding call the next, make it 1st and 20."
Yep.
Like, you cannot allow, like, the ACC has put themselves in a bad spot. You cannot allow Duke to win this game if you're in the ACC. Because if
Yeah.
you're in
If you're
real
not fixing
danger of
if you're
not having
not
an ACC
fixing
team.
if you're not fixing this game, you're doing it wrong. You should fix this game. Virginia absolutely. I mean, this was my fifth pick. Virginia is
Okay.
going to win. The ACC has to let them win, and it needs to be comfortable. Give me Virginia minus the 4. If you're not fixing this game, you're not doing it right. Fix the game. Put Virginia in the playoffs. It just is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. At some point, you've got to own it and go, hey, our conference is terrible. We cannot afford to not be represented. The following statement is not speculation.
Mm.
The following statement is not speculation. There are at least 2 and up to 4 ACC teams that are looking at this situation and have simply said this is untenable. We must get out. If we have to pay the penalty, let's pay it. Conference realignment is coming sooner than expected because of this ACC nightmare where there's a real world where the ACC gets 1 rep and it's Virginia, or no reps, or somehow gets Miami in over Notre Dame. That's it. The league looks at this and goes, "This is stupid." And there are teams in the league that go, "This doesn't work." This nightmare of a season for the ACC is going to lead to change in a negative way for the league.
All right, Neil, my fifth pick. The SEC title game is taking place in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, Georgia. The
Yep.
Georgia Bulldogs are favored by 2.5 points against the Crimson Tide in a rematch in a neutral site where Alabama went to Georgia and beat the Dogs at home, ending a long winning streak. Neil, Georgia's favored by 2.5, and guess what?
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs minus 2.5 in Atlanta Saturday afternoon. Look, I think these are I think these are two ships passing in the night. I think when these teams played in the beginning of the year, Alabama had kind of found the rhythm offensively. They found a way to stay there. Georgia's kind of found their rhythm since, playing much better offensively, and Alabama's just not. They're still they did run the ball better against Auburn, but they're beat up, particularly at running back position. They're beat up. I think it's a rematch game, the whole deal. Everybody talks about, when Alabama and Georgia play twice, usually Georgia gets one of them. They did it in the national championship game a few years ago against Alabama. I think Georgia is. I think Georgia beats them, and I just think they. I like the game. I think Alabama. Now I think defensively, I think they're going to give. I think Kane's going to be ready. I think it'll be a lower scoring game than what people want it to be. I think the under is probably in play here, but I like Georgia minus 2.5 against Alabama.
All right. My money line, I came down to two games. I came down to the SEC game, Alabama plus the 114, and I got Indiana plus the 164. The value pick here is Indiana. Ohio State doesn't have to win this game to win the national championship, neither does Indiana. I think you're going to have a hard time creating the kind of emotion for Ohio State that maybe they would need to just blow Indiana out. So I think it's a close game. So I will roll the dice on a money line pick and go Hoosiers plus 164.
I like it. Shout out to my boys in Indiana. I think this is I think from a Big Ten championship standpoint, I think this game goes one or two ways. I think Indiana in order to win it, I think it's got to be a low scoring game. I don't think Indiana wins in a shootout. I think defensively they got to slow them down. So I think it's a lower scoring game if Indiana wins, and then vice versa. If Ohio State wins, it's a shootout. I don't think there's really any in between. I don't think it's. I think if Indiana covers, I think it also goes under. I think if Ohio State, I can see Ohio State winning. I think it goes covers and it goes over. I don't think there's any in between there. So I'm pulling for my Hoosiers. Shout out to my boy man Kurt Signetti, as my man Neil McCready is just now following as he's yawning and over there thinking about juice and his deep thoughts. He also has had time to think about this. There's two rules. You don't bet with your heart, and you don't bet against Kurt Signetti. And that's what my guy, Neil McCready, just did. All right, Neil, my money line pick. Very easy money line pick for me this week. I will be betting this money line personally as well. There is an underdog in a conference championship game that's playing at home. They're also playing at home versus a team that they played at home 3 weeks ago and beat soundly. Give me the Jacksonville State Gamecocks plus 114 at home against Kennesaw State in the Conference USA title game. And it leaves the Jacksonville State Gamecocks going back to back Conference USA champions. Give me the Gamecocks at home plus 114. Jacksonville State's a tough team to beat. I mean, they play well at home. It's just one of those weird. They play well at home every single week. But it is what it is. I'm taking the Gamecocks plus 114 at home.
All right, we'll pick some NFL games in a moment. I'll first tell you that we're brought to you by Coors Banquet. Since its inception in 1873, Coors has been brewed in the same tradition of the original 150-year-old recipe. Banquet is crafted with 100% Rocky Mountain water. So when you're enjoying a banquet, you're drinking history. We're also brought to you by 47vodka.com. The vodka's smooth, the bottle's bold, and for a limited time, the deal is unbeatable. 47 Vodka's Presidential Gold Edition is complete with gold flakes and an engraved cork. Your friends are stocking up. Your liquor store deserves it. Go to 47vodka.com right now. Get the vodka that drinks like a statement, made in MAGA country and proud of it. Get a Presidential Gold and get a collector's cut bottle for free at 47vodka.com. We are also brought to you by McCready and Siskey is brought to you by Bank First, the hometown bank. People who understand the needs of our community. That means local decisions, local support, local folks who care. If your kid made the team at Bank First, they're not just bankers, they're neighbors and friends. Whether you're buying or selling a home, starting a business, or you just need someone to explain what APR actually means, they're right here for you, right down the street. Give Gant Boone a call, 662-310-0204 to learn more, or visit bankfirstfs.com. Bank First, with locations in Oxford, Starkville, Hattiesburg, and Tuscaloosa. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, bank NMLS 454-063. And we're brought to you about Outdoor Underwriters. Everyone loves the outdoors, but if you want to make sure your hunt club or timberland is covered, Outdoor Underwriters provides the insurance you need at a price that makes sense. Outdoor Underwriters provides liability protection for occurrences arising out of activities and operations of your hunt club, its members, guests, invitees, agents, or employees. Take comfort in blind and tree stand liability, mobile equipment liability, hunting dog liability, and more. 866-961-4101 or online at outdoorund.com. And gave out some life advice a minute ago to
You did a lot of it.
my friend Lane Kiffin. That's brought to you by Cole Walters of State Farm Insurance. Cole is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and Lane pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850 or ColeWaltersInsurance.com.
All right, it's time for the National Football League, Neil. Probably gonna be
Yep.
some carryover because I only got 5 games I'm playing, so I only got 11 total plays for the whole week, and this is exactly what I'm playing. This is exactly what I'm playing on the show. So,
Okay.
Neil, go ahead. NFL game numero uno for you, sir.
All right, I'm starting with tonight's game. It's the Cowboys at the Lions. Give me the home team. Give me the Lions. I'll lay the 3.5 against the red hot Cowboys. I just think Detroit's a better team. Getting into crunch time, give me the Lions minus 3.5.
This is scary. I'm also taking it's at 3, by the way. I just checked it.
Yeah.
So I'm also taking starting tonight. I'm taking the Lions minus 3. We've agreed on too many games today. We didn't have much choice in the college, but I'm scared we're agreeing on too many games. But look, a little concerned a little bit. So I'm Ron St. Brown. If he's not playing tonight, he's questionable. I haven't looked in in the last hour or two, but he left with an ankle last week, and that really bogged him down offensively. Jay Williams, if he's not playing, you need to put every prop you can find on Jay Williams. But they've really, for whatever reason, and I love the guy now. I freaking love the guy as a coach. But since Dan Campbell has taken over the play calling duties, they've kind of bogged down a little bit offensively. Just haven't been playing great. But this is a get right. They have to win, and it's a get. Both teams, it's a must win for both teams. Big game, but they're at home, and if there's a defense to get right with, it's Dallas. You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling that they're going to be able to get after it today. Tonight, I like the Lions minus 3 tonight. I do. I actually would take them all the way up to probably 5.5 or 6. I think they're going to win the game kind of handedly. And the Cowboys, but the Cow. I think it's going. I like the over too. I think the Cowboys are going to score some points, but I just think the Lions outdoing tonight. But that's my first pick. Your second pick, Neil.
All right, my second pick, I'm kind of going with the pride pick here. This is a team that had a bunch of injuries, lost a bunch of games. They're pretty much out of it, but they played better since Joe Burrow got back. They go to Buffalo. They're getting 5.5 against a Bills team that is still sort of scuffling. I'm going to take the Bengals to cover a 5.5 point line at Buffalo.
Yeah, I looked at that one. I didn't take it though. All right, my second pick, Neil. Arguably the biggest divisional game, maybe the biggest game of the weekend from a playoff standpoint, like a swing game from a playoff standpoint. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing at Baltimore, playing the Baltimore
Yep.
Ravens. The Ravens are 6-point favorites in this game, Neil. And guess what?
It's too many points.
It's too much. Give me the
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6 on the road in Baltimore. I think being a divisional game, being this much on the line, I think it's somebody is going to. I think it's just going to be a close game. I think both teams are going to play hard. I think both teams will execute. The Ravens are just not playing. It's not the same team. I think injuries, I know injury bugs have gotten him. Lamar's had this hamstring. He says he's better, but he's not playing the same. He's having to be too much of a pocket passer. I haven't been running him, but just on a couple of things. I like the Steelers plus 6 on the road at Baltimore.
Yeah, at the risk of being repetitive, I'll do the same because it's one of my rules actually. If you give me the Steelers and points, I take them. Coming off of a bad loss, a ego damaging loss, give me the Steelers plus the 6 at Baltimore.
All right. My third pick. That was your third, right?
Uh huh.
All right, my third pick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I usually don't do this. This is probably my scariest pick of the week in the NFL, but I just like it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 2-10. Tyler Shuck, I don't know, man. I don't know what New Orleans plan long-term plan is at quarterback. I don't think this is the guy. And I don't think even if they tank or whatever, I don't know if there's a quarterback in this draft to really answer their problems. I think the Saints are or poor old Chase. I think the Saints are like in a rut to where I don't know how it's going to take them a while. I think to get out of it. Tampa Bay Bucks, man, I think they're a good team. I think they struggle against really good passing teams. Not the Saints. Give me the Bucks minus 8.5 at home. Big number minus 8.5 at home against the Saints.
All right, my next two picks are just I'm going with hot teams. They've been good to me all year. I will start with the Chicago Bears,
Mm.
who've been good to me all year. They get 6.5 at Green Bay. I'm not sure the Bears win. They play the Packers 2 out of the next 3 weeks. Need to win one. Bears are playing really good football. I'm going to go Bears plus the 6.5 at Lambeau.
Neil, I'm going to save the drama. I'm also going the Bears plus 6.5. My fourth pick. I'm going with Bears plus 6.5 at the Packers as well. They're hot. They're not. The Packers have been up and down. I just think this is a divisional game. You're giving me 6.5 points with a hot team on the road, and the Bears are like they're not play. They're finding ways. You know what I mean? And I think
Yep.
with a team that hot, I think 6.5 is too big of a number in the NFL. The team that hot. Give me the Bears plus 6.5. The key to this drill is going to be if the Packers front can get pressure on Caleb Williams, um, and they can. But if they can really affect him and force him into making a mistake, that's where this game's going to be decided. But 6.5 is a lot of points. Give me the Bears plus 6.5.
And then
All right, your fifth pick.
my fifth pick. I'm just going with the team that's been good to me all season. I mean, I think I've won with them 6 out of 8 times. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos in Vegas. I'm going to lay the 7.5.
Mm.
I think the Raiders have quit. The Broncos are playing really well. A lot on the line. I'll take Denver and I'll lay the 7 and the hook. It's a huge number, but I'm going to lay it anyway. Give me Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and the Broncos minus the 7.5 in Vegas.
Yeah, I stayed away from that one. I stayed away from it. They played a couple weeks ago in Denver. It was like 10-7 game. Just divisional opponents. I hate the big number in divisional game. All right, my last game, Neil. I'm taking this bad boy all the way to the late ones. The Philadelphia Eagles are traveling to Los Angeles. Philly fans in December are going to make SoFi Philly West. Give me the Eagles coming off 2 losses and a long layover. Give me the Eagles minus 2.5 on the road in LA. Herbert's jacked up. I think he dislocated his finger. It's on his left hand, but it's still going. But I think the front, like if you can't run the football, and I think the Phillies front's going to cause problems from them running the football. I don't think they can sit back and just throw the ball like they've been doing. I like the Eagles to rebound. I don't think the Eagles are going to lose 3 in a row. Basically, at the end of the day, I don't see the Eagles losing 3 in a row. Give me the Eagles minus 2.5 on the road at the Chargers.
All right.
How about that?
How about that?
All right. A few more things and we'll wrap it up. Wanted to get the picks out of the way, and then we had to get Neil had to get his juice feelings out of the way before we got to the other stuff. Yesterday, busy day for me. Obviously, signing day and all that stuff with Quick U. I would like to make a PSA. I would like to make a national announcement. Can we change? You know how it's like you saw these graphics of this guy flipped to this school and this guy flipped here and this guy flipped here. Can we change it? Can it now be because now can we call it renegotiated? And so
Sure.
instead of saying the quarterback that signed at Vanderbilt, he didn't flip from Georgia to Vandy. He renegotiated with Vanderbilt.
More than fair.
I mean, like it's you're going to see a lot of this, and I think there's going to be guys. We were talking yesterday. You've already seen some of it. Some of these top guys are going to not sign in December to drive. It's dangerous. I wouldn't do it, but I think they're going to use this 48-hour window. The renegotiations were pretty rampant yesterday. So I was a little astonished with how much the renegotiations took place yesterday, even if they stuck with the same thing they stuck with. A lot of guys made a lot of money yesterday just trying to either keep their commitment or switch to somewhere else. So it was nuts. Next thing, I want to say this publicly too. Very, very. I mean, proud's not the word. I was excited to see Keith Carter get out and tell his story, his side of the story, about what's happened over the last few weeks. I think it was very, in the. I know they got a lot of things. Keith's got a shit ton of things going on. Pete's got a shit ton of things going on, and like they don't have time to do all that stuff. It was very good to see Keith Carter get out and say his side of the story, because we knew the other half was filling up the silence with a bunch of stuff that wasn't factual. So I was very, very excited to see Keith Carter come out and set the record straight on some things. So shout out and hat tip to Keith for doing that across many different platforms. He did it. I know Sports Talk Mississippi. He did it with Chase, and he did it with Ben. And so I was very excited to see that happen. So shout out to that. I just it's very I don't even know the right word. Like it really was irking me a little bit, just to be honest, to see the blatant
Yeah.
just
Lies.
lies like that you knew that was going to come out. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I don't understand. Like it's not like some secret that can't come. Like it's I don't even understand it. It was just bizarre to me. But anyway, a lot of bizarre stuff. All right, last thing before we get to this last part. Penn State. Okay, Penn State. My spidey senses are going up a little bit on this.
Yeah.
Um, why haven't they hired a head coach?
I mean, before DeBoer came out today with some pretty strong statements, I was starting to wonder if maybe there was truth to the DeBoer rumor.
What am I missing here?
He kind of pinned himself down a little bit, where if he leaves Alabama for Penn State, he really looks bad. Can't look as bad as Lane Kiffin, but he looks bad, which made me think that he's not doing it. So the only thing I could think of is that maybe there's some truth to a certain agency basically blackballing a school.
Yeah, I find that. Well, that was the other thing is like, so if you believed in that, then Kellen DeBoer was never in question because he's also represented by CAA, right? So,
Right.
um, my spotty senses are going up on that one though.
In what way?
There is you don't have a quote unquote. You haven't been looking for you. There's been too much time for communication. You don't get this far. You don't miss on this many guys. Does that make sense? Like a school like that, you don't miss on
Sure.
like there's it's almost gotten to a point that somebody is they're waiting on somebody or there's a reason. I don't know why.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I was starting to think maybe there was something to DeBoer, but he came out with some pretty strong statements today.
Yeah, I mean, like, and again, it's totally different now. Okay, with recruiting and everything else, so it's not as big of a deal as it used to be. But Penn State's always been a team that's been built through high school recruiting. Okay, and they've supplemented in the portal, but they've always been a team that's a program that's kind of had the national brand to be able to go recruit. And James Franklin did a phenomenal job. But Neil, they signed two kids yesterday. They signed two kids. They finished right above Prairie View in the rankings and right below South Dakota State. Like
Yeah.
that, something's not right. I don't know what it is there. Um, it's off there. And then one of my buddies, I apologize, I can't remember who it was, but one of my buddies said, um, you know what's funny about this whole deal is if James Franklin this past year was coaching anywhere else, okay? If James Franklin this past season was the head coach at any 132 teams, they would be begging for James Franklin right now.
Yeah, yeah,
They would be
it's
begging
crazy.
for James Franklin right now.
I mean, they made a gamble that the job would be more attractive than it turned out to be. That simple as that. I mean, they believed that it would be better than it was, and it wasn't.
It's just bizarre to me that no one has. It's just it's out there. It's weird, but that's a good one. Philip in the chat says Manny Diaz. Maybe Manny was the DC there.
I mean,
Maybe.
maybe makes
But it's like
sense.
they're. I feel like they're waiting on somebody because okay,
Yeah,
if you miss out yesterday on BYU coach yesterday, then you go to your next one. I heard some smoke about Willie Fritz from the coaches, Willie Fritz from Houston and the coaches circles.
yeah,
Um, but I don't know that to be a fact. I just heard it from coaches. So there you
yeah.
go.
I've heard that too. I just don't know.
All right, last thing we're gonna get everybody out of here today. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the which I think is the most important rankings they do is the next to last one. I want to talk a little bit about the rankings and kind of some things that I got out of it. It came out Tuesday. Our last show was Monday. I know you may have talked about it on one of your 800 shows you've got going in your travel, but um, the here's where I'm having a problem, right? So one, which we talked about, the three things that are really going to move things in this scenario that are going to be a quote unquote controversial would be Duke winning. Okay, Duke winning is going to put two group of fives in, right?
Yep, yep.
Um, Alabama losing, then you got the thing, hey, does Alabama drop out or not? I think which we've talked about the other day, and I'm a firm believer in. Like I understand the why you would question Alabama leaving out. I just I know how this works. There's no way that they're going to cost themselves that kind of money because if Alabama's out, you if Alabama, I'll go a step further, Neil. If Alabama loses Saturday and they are out of the playoffs on Sunday, Saturday will be the last SEC championship game you see.
I agree with that completely.
100% am down with that. If
Yep.
I feel firm in that. If Alabama loses and Alabama comes Sunday is out of the playoffs, Saturday will be the last SEC championship game you see.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's going to be there. And then if BYU wins, if BYU pulls the upset and wins, those are the three things that could really move things around. And here's, I think BYU loses. Okay, so you got Notre Dame sitting at 10, right? Let's say things go chalk. All right, you with me?
Yep.
Let's say things go chalk. 10's going to be regardless if it goes chalk or Duke wins, the top 10 in the college football playoff is who's going to get in. You agree with that?
Um, I think
Because
so. Yeah.
it would be Virginia if they won chalk, and then even if Duke wins, it's going to be two group of fives. So the top 10, you got to
Yeah.
be in a top 10 is like kind of the cutoff. Here's
I think
where
that's true. Yes.
All right, so we're all the besides James Madison Troy, the other biggest underdog is BYU to Texas Tech. And BYU beat Texas Tech. BYU lost to Texas Tech pretty good. Texas Tech beats BYU, and everything goes chalk.
Okay.
You're going to end up with Notre Dame at 10 and Miami at 11. Okay, and I know
Unless they flip them at that point because Miami beat Notre Dame.
that's where I'm going here. Okay, how can you end the season? Okay, if the cutoff is at 10 and Notre Dame is sitting there at 10 and BYU loses and that theoretically moves Miami up to the 11 spot, how can you sit there in that committee? I'm asking the question. How can you sit there and look at 10-2 teams, one's number 10, one's number 11, and leave it that way if Miami beat them head to head? How can
I
you do
don't
that?
I don't think you can. But look, you have probably more faith in this committee than I do.
I mean, I don't even know if I have. I mean, they got to prove it. I just don't know how you can. I don't care if you have common sense or not common sense. If you have a team ranked 10th and a team ranked 11 with the same record, but team number 11 beat team number 10, how do they do that? Now, if one
I
was
don't
ranked
know.
15, 20, or whatever, okay, that's another thing. But you can't have them. You can't leave them stacked on top of each other with the same record when the bottom team beat the top team.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So Like if that happens, and so this is kind of where I'm at though. Okay, see if you agree with this. This is kind of my whole deal with it. I think the only way I think they've got this set up, in my opinion, Neil, which will buy you a cup of coffee. They're not going to allow two ACC teams in, but they'll allow one. I think they got it set up to where if Duke beats Virginia, they want
They
one
put
ACC
Miami
team
in.
in. They're going to put Miami in. If
Yeah,
Virginia beats, if Virginia beats
Duke.
Duke, they're not going to let two ACC teams in.
I
I think
agree.
they'll put Notre Dame in.
I think so too, which means that they're not really putting the best teams in; they're manipulating.
They're
Which,
manipulating it for conference money and
yep,
everything else.
yep.
Like I honestly believe that's what's going to happen.
Well, and I feel vindicated in that Vanderbilt at 10-2
Yeah,
is
I
not
was
getting in.
I was
I had
wrong.
a,
Neil was right. I was wrong. Neil was right.
well, I don't mean towards you. I just
Well,
mean
I
in
said it.
general. Everybody was doing this. Look, an SEC team with 10 wins is getting in, and I was like, well, there's a world where there's just too many of them, and here we are. And had Ole Miss lost to Mississippi State, they weren't getting in, and here's Vanderbilt. They're 10-2, and bless Clark heart. He's trying to arrange games and whatnot, but they're not. That's not
Yeah, it
going to
won't be
happen,
happening.
and they're
Yeah,
they're not getting in.
yeah. I don't. I feel bad for Vanderbilt. I think they deserve to be in. It's one of those things. It's where we're, from a. I honestly believe it's like literally at the end of the day, it's a freaking branding deal. You know what I mean? It's like that's where we're. That's the thing. The committee part that I don't. It's a branding deal. Like if you're not a big brand, I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta do so much that they can't leave you out.
yeah,
And I think that's at the end of the day, that's why I think Alabama, if they lose, is still in at the end of the day because they're not going to leave Alabama
yeah,
out and lose the SEC championship at the same time.
yeah. I
That
agree
would cause
completely.
because people would take because that's enough juice. There's enough juice
Yeah,
there to take their ball and go home, right?
I
So
think if Alabama loses, they fall to 10, and if they win, they probably jump maybe to 6. Ole Miss falls to 7. Georgia would fall to
six.
5 or 6. Yeah,
That would
yes,
be
six.
because they would leave
Alabama would be the 5.
they would leave Georgia ahead of Ole Miss because of the head to head.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at on that. All right, Neil. You know it's a good time to remind everybody of?
Key of Meridian or Prime probably. Good time to
It's
get
it's
Prime.
it's time to remind everybody that if you're serious about your health, which my man Neil
Yep.
is, and he needs to get his beauty sleep because it's hard being as good looking as Neil. You have to be like get at least like 3 hours of sleep a night. You can't get up at 2:50 in the morning. You can't
No.
travel to New York. You can't get to the hotel and them not have your room ready. By God, you've got to get your beauty
Uh.
sleep. Because Neil, if
True.
you're like Neil and you are serious about your health, and hey, you got to get to a play tonight and you got to be in tip-top shape form so you can follow the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
You need Prime. What is Prime? It's a modern at home lab testing kit that puts you in control. You can order your kit at getprime.com. That's GETPRYM.com. And you can collect a sample at home in just a few minutes. You can get clear, personalized results right to your private dashboard. I did it myself, sitting right here in this chair. Stuck it on my arm, hit the button. 5 minutes later, pulled the tube out, put it back in the self returned envelope, or actually, it was a box. Took the bad boy to FedEx. 23 hours, 15 minutes later of me pushing the button, I had my test at home. And what did I get? I got a personalized result emailed back to me and also guided me in my next steps, like my peptides, protocols, and real strategies to help you feel your best. It's that simple. It's
Yep.
that powerful. And it works for your partner too, for both panels, for both men and women. So go to getprime.com and don't forget to put in the promo code MPW at checkout to get 20% off of your order. Neil, we're also brought to you by the official paint and body shop of McCready and Siskey. Who is that, you may ask? Thompson's Paint and Body Shop, right there in Saraland, Alabama. Where the work's honest and so this is a new read I haven't read yet, so y'all bear with me. Where the work's honest and the family friendly and cars come out looking like they just rolled off of Santa's sleigh. The holidays can be rough on your car. He left out my deer on here, man. Like, hey, he probably got tired of me talking about my wife driving. Wife probably like hit. Wife probably hit Don up. Was like, hey, can we take the deer thing out of the reader? He's like, I got you. All right, the holidays can be rough on your car, shopping traffic, road trips, and maybe even a run-in with a runaway shopping cart or one of those Santa's reindeer. Santa's reindeer. So he didn't take it out of there. All right. So if Rudolph hits your car, don't worry. Thompson's Paint and Body has your back. Over 35 years, the Thompson family, Don Jr., and Matthew, have been fixing cars with care, quality, and the personal touch that you just won't find with big shops. While the corporate guys are chasing numbers, Thompsons are focused on what really matters, taking care of your neighbors one repair at a time. So check them out at Thompson's Paint and Body Shop. You can check them out on Facebook or thompsonsbodyshop.com or give them a call at area code 251-675-0884 and they will take care of your car no matter where they go. How about that? How about
How
that?
about that? And we've been brought to you the whole show. Forgive my exhaustion today. I apologize. Been brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
How about that?
How about that?
Hey, real quick, and then we're getting out here. It's a couple super chats we got while we were rolling there. Let's see here. Go back. I may have missed one because of backwards, but Bill says we need Neil on the Coach JB show. That would be great. That would be great. Appreciate your super chat. And then there was a couple I missed. Oh, there's one. Wicked Brew. So with the news about Lane Kiffin on game day this Saturday, I'm a big noon kickoff guy going forward. Yeah, I didn't see that news. I'm not surprised. I mean, anybody's shocked? Could have told you that was coming before that was coming. So yeah, that'll be another awkward victim. I wouldn't. You're going to get a victim portrayal is what you're going to get. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, 100%. He really wanted to coach. They wouldn't let him. He found out on Sunday. Police ran him off the road. Poor Juice just desperately wanted to come to Baton Rouge. I mean, just one lie after another. Got fired at Alabama because he was too focused on FAU. That's another lie. Yeah, the Oxford needed Oxford more than Oxford needed him. Let's see. Yoga is just a non-negotiable. What would his dad have done? God told him he needed to take the job. Yeah, I mean, just don't even know where to start. I can't remember the last time he told the truth. I mean,
Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, though, what's your number on how glad you're that this is all over?
I would like as we leave, at least one final time. Thank you to Kalen DeBoer, Kane Womack, Greg Byrne, Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams, all the people associated with Alabama football, the coaches, players, administrative staff, support staff, nutrition staff, bus drivers, managers,
Anyone with the
secretary,
Crimson logo?
secretaries,
Shout out
just
Miss
the
Linda.
people, the people that cook their meals, the people that clean the dishes, the people that wash the clothes, everyone at Alabama. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for winning that game against Auburn, because I would be in Atlanta right now, curled up in a ball, telling people, "No, you dumb son of a bitch, he's not staying. Jesus, stop." Over and over and over and over and over. And because of Greg Byrne and Kalen DeBoer and Kane Womack and Ryan Grubbs and all of the wonderful people in Tuscaloosa, you saved me that torture this week. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Roll Tide. I love you so much. God bless you. May you be blessed with the happiest of Hanukkahs, the merriest of Christmases, and Roll Tide.
All right. Appreciate Neil for joining us today. Neil, get you some rest.
I'm
Get
going.
you some sleep.
I'm about to take a 1 hour nap right now.
Enjoy you the Book of Mormon. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, wonderful championship weekend, and then we'll get ready for the playoffs and selection show on Sunday. Until next time, take care.